Welcome to Kansas Ag Report with your host, Brian Holman.
Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Brian Holman, and here's our lineup for today's show. In Ag News, we'll take a look at local and national headlines affecting Kansas farmers. In our Ag Feature, we talk with Justin Gilpin from Kansas Wheat and get an update as the wheat harvest comes to an end. And inside Kansas Ag, Kansas Wheat talks about the August 20th annual meeting, and KDA tells us about the state photo contest. And in news you need to know, we get our weekly update from the Kansas Livestock Association, look back at last week's market activity with the guys from Paragon, and we'll let you know about important events coming up around the state of Kansas. Glad you could join us.
Closed captioning brought to you by Dick Edwards in Manhattan, selling America's #1 truck, the Ford F-150, for over 30 years. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. kansassoybeans.org.
Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution, Ag Risk Solutions. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza in Junction City, home of this year's Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram Truck. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Here's our national headlines for this week in Ag News. The USDA announced that over 98.2% of producers have met the 2014 Farm Bill requirement to certify conservation compliance to qualify for crop insurance premium support payments. Implementing the 2014 Farm Bill provision for conservation compliance is expected to extend conservation provisions for an additional 1.5 million acres of highly erodible lands and 1.1 million acres of wetlands, which will reduce soil erosion and enhance water quality. Of the small number of producers who have not certified their conservation compliance, the USDA record suggests the majority are no longer farming. A group of biofuel trade organizations sent a letter to Senate Finance Committee Chair Orrin Hatch encouraging extension of critical advanced biofuel tax incentives, the second-generation biofuel producer tax credit, and the biodiesel and renewable diesel fuels credit. Some of the trade groups signing the letter were the Advanced Biofuels Association, National Biodiesel Board, and Renewable Fuels Association. They state that domestic bioproducers are competing with fossil energy industry who continue to enjoy tax incentives and other subsidies on a permanent basis. Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack announced today that beginning September 1st, farmers and ranchers can apply for financial assistance to help conserve working grasslands, rangeland, and pasture land while maintaining the area as livestock grazing land. The CRP Grassland Initiative will provide participants with annual rent payments up to 75% of the grazing value and up to 50% that covers other practices such as cross fencing. To learn more about participating in the CRP grasslands or SAFE, visit fsa.usda.gov/CRP or consult with a local farm service agency. And in local news, the National Corn Growers Association and the American Soybean Association are both calling on the U.S. House of Representatives to pass legislation to establish volunteer GMO labeling. Legislation approved by the House Agricultural Committee Tuesday provides for labeling GMO-free foods as well as foods containing biotechnology. The bill was introduced by Representative Mike Pompeo of Kansas. A more optimistic winter wheat forecast released Friday reflects better results from the Kansas crop now that harvest in the state is nearly completed. The National Agricultural Statistics Service reported it's expecting this year's wheat production to be 34 million bushels in Kansas. This is up from 314 million bushels it had forecasted just last month before harvest had got fully underway. The estimate is based on July 1 conditions. If realized, the 2015 Kansas winter wheat crop will be 36% larger than last year's drought-plagued crop of 246 million bushels. Here's the latest current crop condition report for Kansas. Corn condition is rated at 33% fair, 48% good, and 7% excellent. Corn silking was at 47%, behind 53% last year, but near the 48% average. Soybean conditions were rated 43% fair, 45% good, and 3% excellent. Soybeans planted was at 97%, near the 100% last year and the average. Emerged is at 92%, behind 96% last year and the 99% average. Blooming was at 17%, behind 26% last year and the 25% average. Sorghum condition rated 30% fair, 63% good, and 3% excellent. Sorghum emerged was at 96%, ahead of the 93% last year, but equal to the average. Up next in our Ag Feature, we talk with Justin Gilpin from Kansas Wheat and get updated figures as wheat harvest comes to an end. You're watching Kansas Ag Report. Please stay tuned.
This segment brought to you by Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. GrassandGrain.com. A.B. Flint Motor Company, selling quality used cars and trucks in southeast Topeka at 32nd and South Kansas Avenue. Integrity Gun and Pawn, 2 Topeka locations specializing in firearms and training. igpawn.com to learn more. Kansas Wheat Commission, leaders in the adoption of profitable innovations for wheat. Online at kswheat.com.
I'm Dr. Frank Lyons, a physician here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. As one of the only standalone stem cell centers in the U.S., we use your stem cells as therapy for arthritis and some autoimmune diseases.
I'm Dr. Andrew Poe. Here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center, utilizing the latest technology under strict protocols, we're able to harvest your stem cells from your own fat to treat a variety of medical conditions. The best part about it is, it's a same-day surgical procedure and requires no general anesthesia.
Dick Edwards, 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall on Highway 24.
You need a partner that you can count on to be there for your business. Providing a depth of understanding to risk management issues so you don't have to. A knowledgeable support team located in your area, delivering products and services to make you more successful.
Here at Blue River Traders, we have the greatest selection of rustic and western furniture in Kansas.
At Blue River Traders, you can select from an inventory of rustic lodge or western furnishings. With a designer on hand, Blue River Traders will help create the look you desire.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. Visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
We're in Manhattan today, and we're joined by Justin Gilpin, who is the head of the Kansas Wheat Office, and we're in Manhattan at the Wheat Innovation Center. So, Justin, thanks for joining us this morning.
Always great to have you here at the Innovation Center, Brian.
New number, 335 million bushels, up from the 314 from July crop condition report. It's got to be encouraging news.
Well, it is. It is. There's definitely, as harvest progressed this year, there were some areas where things were much improved on where we thought they would be in April. And I know you spent a lot of time back at the first part of May and talking with members of the Wheat Quality Council's Hard Red Winter Wheat Tour and the different things that they were seeing on that crop tour. But this crop went through so many challenges, from freeze damage to drought conditions to the disease pressure that we started getting, and then all the rains right at harvest time, that there was just a lot of ups and downs. And we knew things were starting to improve from that early estimate. Back in May, the estimate was below 300. It inched its way up to the 314, and then the July number came out at 335 million bushels for the state of Kansas, which is, all said and done, it's probably about an average crop. If we would come in about those yield numbers. There's a chance it may come down just a little bit because we may have lost some bushels due to some disease pressure and rains right at the end, and so the final August number may be revised a little bit lower, but we'll see. But certainly ended up a lot better than what prospects looked like they were going to back in coming out of dormancy in April.
Well, not only that, coming out of 2014, harvest out of 2014, which was a drought-plagued harvest to begin with, we're probably pushing 70 plus million bushels ahead of last year.
Right, that's correct. And when last year when we had the 246 million bushel production for the state of Kansas, it was the lowest production we'd had in almost 30 years for the state of Kansas. So having, a banker back early on told me one time that farmers can handle a drought. What they don't want to handle is back-to-back droughts, and so that's what we were kind of faced with, maybe coming out of dormancy in April. And so how things changed so dramatically, just weather conditions, the crop really responded with the rains and with the yield prospects, and there was some really, the crop was late enough that it was able to benefit from a lot of those rains out west, but the central and eastern part of the state really actually kind of started to deteriorate a little bit because of those rains and the disease pressure that came in.
Well, not only that, but most guys are going to come back and maybe double crop on top of that. So did you have any acres that were just lost? We've got a double crop and we're not going to cut it?
Well, there was definitely some acres that didn't get cut, especially where we had pockets of some head scab that really came in, and there were some varieties that were really susceptible to head scab, and so farmers went ahead and got those adjusted and didn't cut those, and so those were kind of southeast Kansas, northeast Kansas, and then there were certain circumstances where farmers did cut that and harvested those when had it tested for DON levels. The DON levels came in high enough that there was some pretty hefty discounts, and so unfortunately some farmers had to submit a lot of that through the RMA process and hopefully can recoup some of those losses through crop insurance. But all in all, when you think about those pockets, we had the challenges with some head scab, challenges with some drought, challenges with freeze. With knowing all of those things, those challenges that we had to come out with a somewhat average crop, I think that's something that we ought to be pretty thankful for.
Perfect. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about what you should be doing coming into planting again this year. You're watching Kansas Ag Report. We'll see you in just a minute.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. Farmers Insurance, your best protection against the unexpected. Call Agent Dan Key at 785-408-5459. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com. Blue River Traders, the finest selection of Western-style furniture for your home. BlueRiverTraders.com.
We're in Manhattan today. We're at the Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan. We're joined by Justin Gilpin. So, Justin, before we went to break, we were kind of talking about this year's harvest. Let's kind of jump forward 6 to 8 weeks from now. What should guys be thinking about?
Well, certainly coming off a year like we had this year where we had as much disease pressure and challenges that were coming in right off of harvest time, I think it's an opportunity for guys to be able to look back at their variety selection, really evaluate the yield performance trials. I mean, this crop had about everything thrown at it, right? So you're going to be able to gauge how stripe rust resistance was, leaf rust resistance, how crops or some varieties perform better responding from droughts and freeze, and being able to make that selection for this coming year. We did have an issue with some flag smut being identified in some counties. Flag smut's an issue that can be treated with fungicide treatment and seed treatment, and of course you're going to see a lot more encouragement of Kansas using more certified seed and using seed treatments for this year, and I think that's something that's just going to become more and more encouraged from extension and crop advisors and farmer grower associations, just because of management practices. I think it's a way that we can help alleviate some of these challenges, this disease pressure, but then also try to use best management practices to get the most out of their yield.
Well, in the long run, I think certified seeds is probably the best direction to go. As you know, we've talked with Darrell several times about certified seeds, so we want to make sure we're using that.
I think is a step in the right direction for the Kansas wheat industry.
Perfect. Justin, thank you for your time today.
Always great to see you, Brian.
This year, the Kansas Association of Wheat Growers is teaming up with the Kansas State University Department of Agricultural Economics Risk and Profit Conference. The annual meeting will be held on August 20th at 9 o'clock a.m. in the K-State Alumni Center. Members will have the opportunity for a brief review of the association's activities and priorities, a policy resolutions session where members will discuss and debate the policies of wheat growers, and a silent auction will be held during the conference to support the association's scholarship fund. Topics of proposed resolutions include Cuban trade, export growth, controlled burning, and more. Members will be able to enjoy refreshments while discussing topics important to Kansas wheat growers. After the meeting, growers can attend the Risk and Profit Conference. The popular conference will focus on dealing with drought, the effects and economics of drought in agriculture. The Risk and Profit Conference will include guests who specialize in meteorology, ag economics, and ag policy. Breakout session topics include an ag land values update, tax information, reduction of the farm safety net, effects of local water policy on crop choices, and more. While there are fees for the conference, Kansas Association of Wheat Growers members are eligible to receive a $100 scholarship. If you're interested in joining COG, this is a great time to do it. New members will receive full ride scholarship for conference fees, in addition to an iHeart gluten mug. For more information on our scholarship program, call 785-539-0255.
Nearly every aspect of daily life can be tied to agriculture. The Kansas Department of Agriculture is hosting a photo contest to help tell the story of agriculture. The contest is open until August 1st at 5 p.m. We encourage participants to be creative with entries. Agriculture can be more than a typical pasture, tractor, or wheat field. Agriculture is the look in a farmer's eye after a successful harvest, the lines of an irrigation system silhouetted by a sunset, and the fullness of creeks and ponds after a much-needed rain. Photos showcasing agriculture, taken at any time of the year, are eligible for entry. Farm faces, picture-perfect prairie, agriculture at work, farm animals, and youth categories are available for entry. The youth category is perfect for 4-H members to display their photography projects. The department's social media, the Kansas State Board of Agriculture, and select Kansas legislators will judge photographs in each category. In each of the categories, a $100 gift card will be awarded to the first place photographer and a $50 gift card to the second place photographer. After submission, the Kansas Department of Agriculture is granted permission to use any photograph for publication, social media, websites, or displays without payment or other consideration from the photographer. More contest guidelines can be found at agriculture.ks.gov/photo contest.
This segment brought to you by Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. A.B. Flint Motor Company, selling quality used cars and trucks in Southeast Topeka at 32nd and South Kansas Avenue. Integrity Gun and Pawn, 2 Topeka locations specializing in firearms and training. igpawn.com to learn more. Impact Satellite, your local authorized DirecTV dealer. Impact Satellite at 785-554-5974.
All the time. Monthly payments of $289, $189, or even $89. How is this done, you ask? Well, with large down payments, low mileage leases, and you must qualify for all rebates offered. Can we do this? Yes, we can. But we'd prefer to give you the straight talk, where we tell you all the information up front, and you make the decision on what vehicle and payment you want. You won't need bifocals to read the fine print here. Dick Edwards, serving the Manhattan, Fort Riley, and Junction City areas for over 30 years.
Imagine having someone help you pick the best corn hybrids for every field on your farm. Your Oldie representative can combine your data with his data to offer a field-by-field prescription. Contact Oldie Seed today at 877-692-4555.
Tammy the Pro Home Plus is all about providing warmth and kindness to aging individuals who find it difficult to live on their own. Tammy's team is made up of experienced caregivers and nurses committed to the highest level of individualized care, focusing on health and well-being, and assisting with nutrition, grooming, medications, therapies, and daily living needs, all in a warm, caring environment. Call Tammy the Pro Home Plus today at 785-383-7094 to learn how we can help.
The producer-funded Kansas Wheat Innovation Center was built to get improved varieties into the hands of farmers faster. Kansas Wheat, farmers advancing their future through wheat genetics research.
I will take action against herbicide-resistant weeds. I will know my weeds, and I will stop them before they go to seed. I will do whatever it takes to give my crops the upper hand, and I will use multiple herbicide sites of action because every action counts. I will take action, this time for all time.
You hear it all the time. Monthly payments of $289, $189, or even $89. How is this done, you ask? Well, with large down payments, low mileage leases, and you must qualify for all rebates offered. Can we do this?
Yes, we can.
But we'd prefer to give you the straight talk, where we tell you all the information up front, and you make the decision on what vehicle and payment you want. You won't need bifocals to read the fine print here. Dick Edwards, serving the Manhattan, Fort Riley, and Junction City areas for over 30 years.
You need a partner that you can count on to be there for your business. Providing a depth of understanding to risk management issues so you don't have to. A knowledgeable support team located in your area, delivering products and services to make you more successful.
The 2015 KLA K-State Ranch Management Field Days will be held at locations in South Central, Northwest, and East Central Kansas. All three ranches are in the commercial cow-calf business. Gilmore Creek Ranch near El Dorado will host the first event August the 20th. The Butler County Ranch is operated by Frank and Mary Harper. Hobbs Ranch of Pinocchio is the site of the August 27th Ranch Field Day. The Terry Hobbs family owns and operates this Graham County ranch. The third field day will be August 29th at LS Cattle in western Douglas County. This ranch is owned and operated by the Bryce and Gina Schumann family. The El Dorado and Pinocchio field days will start at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, include educational and informational sessions, and conclude with dinner. The ranch field day in Douglas County will start at 9 in the morning and conclude with lunch. All of the events are free to attend and include a complimentary beef meal. Bayer Healthcare's Animal Health Division and the Farm Credit Associations of Kansas are sponsors of the three field days. This marks the 19th year for the Kansas Livestock Association K-State Ranch Field Days. Through the first 18 years, 46 different ranches and dairies have hosted the events.
Good morning. I'm Eric Osterhaus with Paragon Ag Advisors. It's been quite a ride in the grain complex over the last several weeks. Back on June 15th, the funds carried a record net short position in the grains, the largest short position since 2008 when they actually began tracking the funds. It seems as if the fund managers were looking for an excuse to head to the exits, and this is exactly what happened with that friendly report we saw on June 30th with the USDA. The report was friendly, but it was not that friendly. So it's yet another lesson for us all to learn. It's always a great idea to know exactly what the funds are doing, especially if that is a record position. After that initial mad rush to the door, the market now seems like it needed more news to keep feeding that hungry bull. With the US dollar actually moving back higher again, generally better weather in many sections of the country, apparently the news was not enough to keep the market moving to newer highs. It feels like technically the market is looking to retrace and establish a new base to trade from. The most recent crop condition reports show us trailing last year's progress, but not decisively so. We do still have an opportunity to rally, especially as we move closer and through the harvest. We feel that due to the rains and the overly wet conditions, there will be crop and yield issues coming up, as well as maybe some forthcoming acre adjustments. We may just have to wait a little while through harvest to hear about these issues. In the meantime, we trade weather and any surprises in the geopolitical arena. If you have any questions on these markets or any market, give us a call at 888-452-8751. Have a productive day.
Closed captioning brought to you by Dick Edwards in Manhattan, selling America's #1 truck, the Ford F-150, for over 30 years. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. kansassoybeans.org.
Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution, Ag Risk Solutions. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza in Junction City, home of this year's Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram Truck. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Well, that's our show for today. I hope you'll join us each week for more news and information about agriculture in the state of Kansas. I'm Brian Holman, and thanks for watching.
Here at Blue River Traders, we have the greatest selection of rustic and western furniture in Kansas.
At Blue River Traders, you can select from an inventory of rustic lodge or western furnishings. With a designer on hand, Blue River Traders will help create the look you desire.
Imagine having someone help you pick the best corn hybrids for every field on your farm. Your Oldie representative can combine your data with his data to offer a field-by-field prescription. Contact Oldie Seed today at 877-692-4555.
Tammy the Pro Home Plus is all about providing warmth and kindness to aging individuals who find it difficult to live on their own. Tammy's team is made up of experienced caregivers and nurses committed to the highest level of individualized care, focusing on health and well-being, and assisting with nutrition, grooming, medications, therapies, and daily living needs, all in a warm, caring environment. Call Tammy the Pro Home Plus today at 785-383-7094 to learn how we can help.